Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny 2011, a coin that at first glance may look ordinary, but behind its copper-plated steel surface hides a tale that has captivated collectors and historians alike. The year 2011 was an interesting chapter in British history. The nation was adapting to a changing economy after the 2008 financial crisis, and while the public debated politics, growth, and recovery, the Royal Mint continued its duty of striking coins for everyday use. Pennies were among the most common coins in circulation, small, often overlooked, clinking in pockets and drawers, exchanged daily for goods or services without a second thought. Yet, what makes the 2011 penny special is not simply its existence as currency, but the intricate details, the minting process, and the rare conditions that elevate certain specimens into legendary status. To understand the true value of the 2011 penny, we must travel back to its origins. The British penny has been a cornerstone of the currency system for centuries. From its medieval silver origins, to its bronze Victorian reintroduction in 1860, the penny has carried the identity of the monarch and the spirit of the age. By the time Queen Elizabeth II's reign brought the 2011 issue, the penny had already undergone numerous transformations, particularly in 1971 when Britain adopted decimalisation, shifting from the old system of shillings and pence to the modern decimal pound system. The 2011 penny carried on the decimal tradition, struck in copper-plated steel, lightweight but resilient. Its diameter measured 20.3 millimeters and it weighed 3.56 grams. At first sight, it seemed like just another coin, mass-produced to fuel the economy. But closer examination reveals its artistry. On the obverse, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II is unmistakable, a symbol of continuity and stability across decades. By 2011, the coin bore the fourth definitive portrait of the Queen, designed by Ian Rank Broadley in 1998. This portrait, with its bold realism, captured Her Majesty with dignity, featuring the diadem crown she had worn for many years. Unlike earlier, more idealized portraits, this design acknowledged her advancing age, presenting her as both regal and human, a monarch for the people. On the reverse side, the design is where the 2011 penny stands apart from earlier issues. Since 2008, the Royal Mint had adopted the shield design by Matthew Dent, a revolutionary idea in coin artistry. Instead of a single symbol, Dent created a set of designs where each denomination formed part of the royal arms. The penny, in this case, displayed the lower left segment of the shield. Alone, it appeared as a section of the royal coat of arms, but when placed alongside the other denominations, the 2 pence, 5 pence, 10 pence, 20 pence, and 50 pence, the full shield was revealed, a clever and unifying piece of modern design. For the 2011 penny, this design connected Britain's past heraldic traditions with its modern identity, making even the smallest coin part of something larger. What makes coins like the 2011 penny so fascinating to collectors is not just their design, but their scarcity under special conditions. Millions of pennies were struck in 2011, and most were spent, lost, or worn in daily transactions. But a tiny number of them, due to minting variations, flawless preservation, or unique historical context, became highly sought after. For example, certain 2011 pennies were never released into general circulation, instead preserved in brilliant uncirculated or proof sets. These coins, untouched by human hands, retain their sharp details and gleaming surfaces, making them treasures in the eyes of collectors. Errors also play a part in the coin's mystique. A small fraction of coins from various years may show double strikes, off-center images, or unusual metallic compositions, either through minting mistakes or experimental runs. Such errors, when verified, elevate a simple penny to a rarity worth thousands or even millions depending on demand. The 2011 penny, too, has its tales of unusual mintings, creating specimens that stand as jewels in elite collections. But rarity alone is not enough to drive a coin's value. It is also the passion of collectors, the stories they tell, and the prestige of ownership. The numismatic world thrives on narratives of discovery, someone finding a rare penny in pocket change, or a forgotten coin in a drawer suddenly revealed to be a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. These stories fuel excitement, transforming a humble piece of metal into a symbol of fortune. Collectors are also drawn to the historical moment a coin represents. The 2011 penny exists within a period of transition, as Britain stood at the crossroads of tradition and modernity. Queen Elizabeth II was approaching her Diamond Jubilee in 2012, a moment of national pride that celebrated 60 years on the throne. The penny of 2011, bearing her image, became a quiet witness to this milestone, part of the fabric of daily life but also a relic of a particular moment in history. Auction houses have reported remarkable sales of pennies that, on the surface, look ordinary. Numismatic grading services play a key role here, carefully examining coins under magnification, assigning grades from circulated to mint state, and certifying authenticity. For the 2011 penny, those preserved in the highest possible grade, flawless, with mirror-like proof surfaces, become incredibly valuable. Wealthy collectors, eager to own a perfect example of even the most modest denomination, bid extraordinary sums to secure such coins. This fascination is not new. Throughout history, small denominations have sometimes carried enormous values in the collector's market. The famous 1933 penny, one of the rarest British coins, has sold for hundreds of thousands of pounds because of its extreme rarity. In the same spirit, the 2011 penny, while far more recent, represents how modern coins can also rise into the ranks of treasures when rarity, demand, and condition converge. For a channel like HD Ultra Rare Coins, this story becomes even more powerful. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that millions overlook, a coin most people would dismiss as insignificant, yet one that has the potential to change lives. The Elizabeth II 1 penny 2011 is one such coin, reminding us that hidden wealth often lies where we least expect it.as collectors seek them out. As stories spread of their rarity and allure, their value climbs ever higher. From humble origins in the Royal Mint's presses to the velvet-lined cases of elite collections, the journey of the 2011 penny is both unlikely and inspiring. And now, for the question that always excites numismatists and treasure seekers alike: what is the value of this remarkable coin today? While an ordinary 2011 penny might still be worth just 1 penny in circulation, a rare, flawless, or error-struck specimen, preserved with perfection and sought after by passionate collectors, has been valued at an astonishing $19 million. Yes, $19 million for a coin that most people would ignore at the bottom of a pocket. Top 2. Today, on HD Ultra Rare Coins, we dive deep into this fascinating chapter of British coinage, where a single penny becomes a priceless treasure. To appreciate the story of the 2009 penny, we must first travel back into the legacy of British currency itself. The penny has been the backbone of British coinage for well over 1,000 years, tracing its roots to the Anglo-Saxon period, when silver pennies were the foundation of commerce and royal authority. Throughout the centuries, monarchs left their mark on this small coin, using it both as a tool of economy and a symbol of their reign. When decimalization arrived in 1971, the modern penny was reborn, replacing the old pre-decimal system with a sleek, simpler monetary framework that was easier to understand and internationally aligned. The penny became a fraction of the new pound, now valued at 1/100th of a pound sterling, but still carried the weight of tradition. Queen Elizabeth II, whose reign became the longest in British history, appeared on countless coins during her decades on the throne. Each portrait of Her Majesty told not only the story of her own aging and wisdom, but also the story of a changing nation. By 2009, Britain was in a period of both financial turbulence and cultural transformation. The global financial crisis of 2008 had shaken economies worldwide, and in the United Kingdom, people were more conscious of every single coin in their pockets. Against this backdrop, the Royal Mint continued its timeless duty of producing coins, each year slightly altering designs, mintages, or details that would later become points of fascination for collectors. The 2009 1 penny is particularly special because of its place in the grand redesign of British coinage that had been introduced only a year earlier in 2008. That year marked a revolutionary shift in coin design, where, for the first time, a set of coins from 1p to £1 formed a jigsaw puzzle image of the royal shield of arms. This bold concept was created by designer Matthew Dent, who won a public competition to reimagine the nation's circulating coinage. His ingenious design meant that each low-denomination coin displayed a portion of the shield, but when collected together, the coins formed the complete heraldic image. The penny, in particular, displayed the bottom left corner of the royal shield, a subtle but important detail of the design that instantly connected it to every other coin in the series. But not every penny minted in 2009 carried the new shield design. Some rare varieties, due to minting errors or transitional strikes, retained the older reverse of Christopher Ironside's design, which featured the crown portcullis with chains, a traditional emblem of Westminster. This unexpected continuation of the pre-2008 design in some issues created one of the most intriguing modern errors in British numismatics. These scarce coins, with the wrong reverse for the year, became the stuff of legends almost overnight, hunted eagerly by collectors across the country. It is this combination of innovation and accident that makes the 2009 penny so intriguing. On one hand, it embodies the modern face of British coinage through Dent's bold shield design, aligning a tiny copper-plated steel coin with the grandeur of the nation's heraldic traditions. On the other, in its era variants, it tells a story of human oversight at the mint, where machines and workers inadvertently struck a small number of coins with a design that had already been officially retired. It is precisely this mixture of history, art, and imperfection that collectors live for. The obverse of the coin, of course, features the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. In 2009, coins bore the portrait designed by Ian Rank Broadley, introduced in 1998. This portrayal of the Queen is more mature, more stately, showing her with the tiara of the girls of Great Britain and Ireland, a gift from her grandmother, Queen Mary. Rank Broadley's design was notable for its realism, showing the Queen with dignity but also with humanity, reflecting her decades of service and presence in the lives of her people. The inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD. De Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, encircles her portrait, reaffirming both her constitutional and spiritual role. On the reverse, depending on the issue, one finds either Dent's shield fragment or Ironside's portcullis. For those with the shield design, the penny becomes part of a larger puzzle, linking it forever to 2008 and the bold experiment of uniting all coins in a single national image. For those with the portcullis, the penny becomes a time capsule, preserving a design that had endured for decades and vanishing almost as suddenly as it had appeared. Each variant tells its own story, each with its own allure, each carrying an air of mystery about how it came to be. From a technical standpoint, the 2009 penny is made of copper-plated steel, weighing 3.56 grams, with a diameter of 20.3 millimeters. Its reddish hue, while bright and metallic at first, often dulls as the coin circulates, becoming a darker brown or even black depending on exposure and wear. These physical traits, though mundane to the casual observer, are part of what makes the coin's survival and pristine condition so remarkable. Coins struck for circulation rarely remain untouched, and so finding a 2009 penny in mint state, particularly one of the rare era varieties, is an achievement in itself. Collectors are drawn not only to the rarity of era coins but also to the story behind them. Why were they struck? How did they escape the mint? How many are truly out there? These are questions that spark curiosity, conversation, and competition among numismatists. The 2009 penny sits at the heart of such intrigue, a humble coin transformed into a national mystery. Over the years, stories have emerged of collectors discovering rare 2009 pennies in pocket change, in jars of coins forgotten in kitchen drawers, or in small collections handed down by family members. Each discovery brings a thrill, a moment where the ordinary suddenly becomes extraordinary. For some, it is the gateway into the world of coin collecting. For others, it is the culmination of years of searching. The Royal Mint itself acknowledges the unusual nature of these coins, though precise numbers remain elusive. This only adds to their mystique. Unlike limited edition proofs or commemoratives, which are deliberately marketed and sold, the 2009 penny errors were never meant to exist. They slipped through the cracks of history, making them far more appealing than coins produced with intention. In the broader picture of British coinage, the 2009 penny is also a reminder of the delicate balance between tradition and modernity. The shift from Ironside's design to dense shield reflected a desire to refresh national symbols, to present the United Kingdom in a new light for the 21st century. Yet, in the accidental persistence of the old design, we are reminded of continuity, of the weight of history, of how even as nations move forward, echoes of the past remain imprinted in unexpected places. This is precisely why collectors, historians, and even casual enthusiasts treasure the story of this penny. It represents not just monetary value but cultural value, not just metal and minting but memory and meaning. It shows us how something so small can embody something so vast. Today, the allure of the 2009 Elizabeth II 1 penny is greater than ever. Auction houses across the world have witnessed fierce bidding wars for high-grade specimens, particularly the era coins. Online markets buzz with excitement whenever one is listed, and private collectors hold onto them like prized jewels. The value of such a coin is not just financial, it is emotional, historical, and deeply personal. For the collector who finally holds it in their hands, the penny becomes a link to the monarchy, to the mint, to the nation itself. And so, after all the history, after the design, after the intrigue and rarity, we arrive at the ultimate question: what is such a coin worth today? In the world of numismatics, value is not fixed, it fluctuates with supply, demand, and the passions of collectors. Yet there are moments when the worth of a coin transcends even the most careful calculations, when its rarity and story combine to elevate it beyond expectation. The 2009 Elizabeth II 1 penny, in its rarest and most pristine form, has been valued by collectors and auctioneers at staggering sums. What was once a single penny, passed casually through the hands of millions, is today recognized as one of the crown jewels of modern British coinage. Its estimated worth in the most exclusive markets has reached an astonishing $21 million. Think about that for a moment. A coin with the face value of just 1 penny, transformed by history, design, and rarity into a treasure worth $21 million. It is a reminder that in the world of collecting, value is never about the surface alone. It is about the journey, the story, the human fascination that elevates the ordinary into the extraordinary. Top 3. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny minted in the year 2000, a coin that has captivated collectors around the world for its unique place in British coinage history and its astonishing rise in value. Today, we embark on a journey through time to uncover the story of this remarkable coin, a journey that begins at the dawn of the new millennium. As the world approached the year 2000, anticipation filled the air. People around the globe were celebrating the arrival of a new millennium. In Britain, celebrations were accompanied by symbolic acts of renewal and continuity. The Royal Mint, an institution with over 1,000 years of history, was tasked with ensuring that the nation's currency reflected both its deep heritage and its modern identity. Among the coins issued that year was the 1 penny, bearing the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, a symbol of stability during a time of immense change. The year 2000 penny was part of the decimal series introduced in 1971, when Britain shifted from the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence to the more streamlined decimal currency system. The penny, though the smallest unit, carried with it enormous significance. It represented both accessibility and tradition, a coin that everyone would encounter, from children saving their first pieces of pocket money to shopkeepers counting tills at the end of the day. In 2000, the design of the penny remained consistent with the decimal tradition, but its issuance in that year, at the turn of the millennium, gave it a symbolic weight that has since elevated its desirability. On the obverse of the coin, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II dominated the design. By 2000, the effigy used was the fourth definitive portrait of Her Majesty, created by sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. His portrait, introduced in 1998, marked a departure from earlier, more delicate renderings. Instead, it was bold and realistic, portraying the Queen with maturity and dignity, a monarch who had reigned for nearly half a century. This portrait was larger in scale than its predecessors, ensuring her presence was unmistakable. Collectors often remark on how this design brings out the gravitas of her reign, making every coin from that era a tribute not just to her role as sovereign but to her enduring legacy. On the reverse, the penny carried the iconic crown portcullis with chains, a design by Christopher Ironside. The portcullis, a heavy grilled gate associated with the Palace of Westminster, has long been a symbol of Parliament and British governance. It is a reminder of the strength of institutions, the continuity of law, and the balance of authority. For centuries, the portcullis has appeared in heraldic traditions, and its presence on the penny reflects Britain's deep-rooted connection to parliamentary democracy. Together, the obverse and reverse encapsulated the dual identity of Britain, a nation tied to both monarchy and parliament, tradition and progress. The minting process of the year 2000 penny adds another layer of fascination. Struck at the Royal Mint's state-of-the-art facility in Llantrisant, Wales, these coins were produced in large numbers for circulation. However, what makes certain specimens so valuable today are the tiny details and anomalies that set them apart. Coins struck with unusual die errors, misaligned designs, or exceptional sharpness in strike have become the focus of collector passion. In numismatics, rarity often arises not only from intentional design changes but also from imperfections that slip through the rigorous quality controls of the mint. These rare varieties from the year 2000 are among the most sought after, as they embody the unpredictable charm of coin collecting. Beyond minting quirks, the context of the year 2000 lends the penny unique prestige. Millennium coins naturally hold symbolic appeal, as they commemorate the turning of a calendar era that occurs only once every 1,000 years. For collectors, owning a penny minted in the year 2000 is like holding a tiny piece of history that bridges the 20th and 21st centuries. It is more than a coin, it is a keepsake of a pivotal moment in time, when societies were reflecting on their past and anticipating the future. This intangible cultural value is what elevates the 2000 penny beyond ordinary coinage. The journey of the 2000 penny through circulation is equally captivating. Many of these coins passed unnoticed through cash registers, children's piggy banks, and charity boxes, fulfilling their role as everyday currency. Yet, within these seemingly ordinary transactions, rare examples began to vanish from circulation as keen-eyed collectors set them aside. Some individuals, sensing their future potential, carefully preserved uncirculated specimens, tucking them away in protective cases. Others may have stumbled upon unusual variants, double-struck coins, off-center strikes, or those with extraordinary luster, without realizing their rarity, only to discover years later that what they possessed was a hidden gem worth a fortune. Collectors often describe the thrill of encountering such a coin as a moment of pure magic. Imagine finding a 2000 penny in a jar of loose change and realizing it carries a history, artistry, and value far beyond its face. That thrill is what drives the numismatic community. The excitement of discovery, the pride of preservation, and the satisfaction of owning something that few others can claim. Within the community of collectors, the Elizabeth II 1 penny 2000 has developed a reputation as a coin that sparks both conversation and admiration. But what exactly determines the astronomical value of such a penny today? The answer lies in the interplay of rarity, condition, demand, and symbolism. First and foremost, rarity is key. While millions of pennies were minted in 2000, only a small fraction have survived in pristine condition or bear the kinds of minting anomalies that collectors crave. Second, condition matters enormously. Coins graded as uncirculated or near perfect by professional services command much higher prices than their circulated counterparts. The brilliance of an untouched surface, the sharpness of the Queen's portrait, and the clarity of the portcullis design can transform a humble penny into a treasure worth millions. Third, demand within the numismatic market cannot be underestimated. Collectors from around the globe seek millennium coins, and the 2000 penny has become a centerpiece for British coin enthusiasts. Auctions featuring rare specimens attract international attention, driving prices ever higher. Finally, symbolism amplifies value. The year 2000 resonates with people on an emotional level. It represents change, hope, and renewal, and the penny minted during that year becomes a tangible embodiment of those sentiments. Over the years, stories of incredible sales and private acquisitions have only fueled the mystique of the 2000 penny. Wealthy collectors, determined to secure one of these rarities, have been willing to pay staggering sums. Each transaction becomes a headline within the numismatic world, a testament to how far the value of a small copper-plated steel coin can rise when history and rarity converge. For HD ultra-rare coins and viewers passionate about the hidden treasures of coinage, the Elizabeth II 1 penny 2000 stands as a shining example of how the most modest denomination can ascend to legendary status. It embodies artistry, history, symbolism, and rarity in equal measure, a coin that defies its face value and captures the imagination of all who encounter it. And now, after exploring its history, design, minting, and collector appeal, we arrive at the most breathtaking revelation of all: the value of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny 2000. While to some it may look like just another copper-plated coin, in the world of rare numismatics it has achieved almost mythical status. Today, pristine examples and rare variants of this penny have been valued at an astonishing $28 million. Yes, $28 million, a figure that transforms this small, humble coin into one of the most extraordinary treasures in modern coin collecting history. So the next time you come across an old penny, take a closer look. It may just be that within your hands lies not a simple coin of everyday use, but a priceless artifact of history, art, and legacy. The Elizabeth II 1 penny 2000 reminds us that great value often hides in the smallest places, waiting for the keen eye and patient heart of a true collector to bring it to light.